Subreddit, glitch_in_the_matrix. Title, I died last night. But I'm still here. Body, so this actually happened last week. It just took me some time to come to terms with it. I got a phone call from my next door neighbor late in the evening asking if I can help him move a mattress into his upstairs. His mom is ill and has a big heavy sleep number bed. I of course ran over to help because they're great neighbors. I get over there and his friend, who is also a priest, was there to help. I helped them figure out how to separate the mattress from the bed so we could fit it upstairs. We get it all moved up and back in place when my neighbor asks if I can help them move an armoire upstairs too. I think nothing of it and we pull it out of his travel trailer and start bringing it up the front stairs of his house. This is where I died. The front stairs are 11 steps. I was on the lower end of the armoire about 6 steps up when my neighbor and his friend lose a handle on the armoire and it comes crashing down on me and I fall backwards towards the pavement. I then wake up in my dining room to my phone ringing and my wife asking me if I'm going to answer the phone. It's my neighbor asking me if I can help move a bed upstairs for his mom. I go over there and meet his priest friend again, as this has been the first time I met him. I say I can help with the bed but I cannot help with the armoire. My neighbor was like, how'd you know about the armoire? I then proceeded to tell them I'm pretty sure I just died. I spent the next hour talking with the priest. He had so many questions. My neighbor didn't believe it until I described the upstairs bedroom in perfect detail down to the metal mattress frame on the floor and the intricate headboard leaning against the wall, and I had never been upstairs in their house before. The priest asked me what I saw after I died. I told him I never actually died. Before it happened I woke up at my dining room table. TLDR. I experienced my death but woke up alive about 20 minutes earlier in my life. Thank you all for the awards. I never expected this post to blow up. I've been trying my best to follow the comments and post answers to questions or clarify statements. Top comments: this happened to me when I was about 18 years old, and maybe other times I'm less aware of. I have a group of friends who have all experienced their own death at least once and are aware of it. I seems to happen to many people. Here is my take on what's happening. http://www.reddit.com/r/glitch_in_the_matrix/comments/2w7sfx/onacdata_for_perspective_of. At the bottom, this is a collection of all the stories I could find like this. My story: after a fresh light rain, I was turning onto an on-ramp and started to accelerate from around 40 miles per hour to about 70 miles per hour to merge with the high-speed traffic on the expressway. As soon as I touched the gas, my car swung around and I started drifting across 4 lanes of 70 miles per hour rainy traffic, facing the cars, as my car was now facing backward, sliding everywhere. I remember one guy giving me the finger as he flew past me. Then I remember horrible crunching, wrenching sound, and suddenly my car was moving back the other way toward the bridge side, over the highway I had just turned off. As my car slid back across traffic I was sure I was gonna slam into the bridge side and end on the road below. When I got the point where that would happen, there was another huge slamming/crunching and then suddenly I was just stalled out on the on-ramp. Like I had driven up onto the highway and stalled/stopped in the breakdown lane on the bridge as soon as I got up there. I got out and looked at my car from all angles and there wasn't a scratch or dent or any evidence of what just happened. I remember there being a horrible explosive type of collision twice, but nothing. I just smoked a cigarette in the on-ramp/breakdown lane. Called my parents and told them I loved them, and then went on my first date with my future wife. It was my weirdest experience. My man just loaded a save file in front of God. Now all I can think about is changing the lyrics from the Cutting Crew song to I Just Died in Your Armoire Tonight, a precognitive dream. But this question of precognition and whether or not you can avoid a fatal, or other, accident is very interesting. Sometimes, as in your case, You were able to avoid the accident. By the way, your composure when you got the call a second time and the way you explained it to your neighbor and his friend is very impressive. On other occasions it seems to be unavoidable. My mother dreamed about the death of her little sister and didn't want to go out with her mother and sister as they had planned, but my grandmother ignored her, even when she spilled a whole box of salt, and insisted they go. A tree fell on them and killed her sister. I recall the mystic Wellesley. Tudor Pole had a similar experience back in 1930s Italy, when he suddenly knew that a certain carter was going to die in a collision. As he set off to warn the man, he got the message, "It is not for you to interfere with this man's destiny." He held his tongue and the man went off, and shortly after was hit by a car and died. Quantum immortality, wow, that's creepy as F @ **K. I couldn't help but chuckle when you said your neighbor's pal is a priest. I don't know why. I think it was a pure random thing to hear, but I was picturing a guy in a priest's suit staggering out the pub. I know I've got a daft imagination. Thanks for posting, it really gave me the chills. Final destination type of **T right there. What if every time you die the world line splits into two? One where you are dead and everyone is grieving, and one where you keep on going on. Man, I'd be so pissed if someone literally killed me and I was brought back to life. I would give them a piece of my mind. Bro, you ain't making up a story, right? I want to believe you. Sounds like quantum immortality. Were there any abnormalities in reality after the reset? Just as an example of what I mean about an abnormality, this guy's car, https://www.ndерf.org/experiences/1todd_r_nde.html, had an almost empty tank of gas after resetting even though he had filled it before the accident, and this guy's girlfriend was missing a cigarette that they smoked. https://www.reddit.com/r/glitch_in_the_matrix/comments/1fhywwg/_mist_resetting, before he got stabbed and reset. Do you think it was a crazy dream or did you actually die? Look for weird small things that gave changed. I can pinpoint a time I died, and one big difference is the hormone in my birth control changed. I was on estrogen-based birth control and now I'm on progesterone birth control. I'm on it for medical reasons and everything got super fucked, still trying to figure stuff out a year later with that. That's how I know I'm not just remembering wrong. It worked for 4 years and progesterone doesn't work great for me, never has. Then after that day, boom, my medication changed. Welcome to this dimension. I've gone through some similar events. Most recent one I'm aware of is when I took a turn too soon and was hit by a semi. Except I wasn't. It was like a flash and then I was driving down the road I had turned out onto like nothing happened. I thought maybe my panic brain rewrote the event and I wasn't remembering correctly, but I noticed really subtle differences in the world around me. A house a different color, an old sign where one hadn't been before. I just call myself crazy now and refer to it as a slide. Like I slid from one reality to the next closest reality where I survived the incident, either a bullshit, made up story or an amazing one. Not sure which one is more likely. But you can understand my skepticism. Wow, this sounds like the movie Edge of Tomorrow. Oh my god, I start reading the comments and it's like I just entered a fucking episode of Star Trek. Jesus, it's all about quantum anomalies and physics. Once I had a dream that shook me to death. I dreamed that after discovering that I was going to get married via Instagram, one of my ex-boyfriends came up to where we were after running into us at a grocery store a couple weeks earlier. He saw we were on vacation and found our hotel and everything. He knocks on the door and asks to talk to me. Starts telling me that he is still so in love with me and how we are meant to be together. He was crying, begging me not to get married, and so in the dream I go with him. As I am checking out of the hotel with my ex, I see my husband, Wasna T, my husband in my dream, walking away with his bag slung over his shoulder, tears in his eyes. We make eye contact for a few seconds as he shakes his head and walks away. My heart broke at that moment in the dream, and the memories of my wedding, our honeymoon, our kids, our life start getting torn away from me. Pictures and flashes of what could have been. My ex and I get into a fight that day as he realized what he had just done was a huge mistake. He really would be this impulsive and stupid, and I ask him, why did you even come? I was going to marry that man, and he replies, well, hopefully you still can. Yeah, no, I saw you and him at the grocery store and I was just out of a bad relationship and I saw you looking so mature and grown up, I thought I might as well try and get you back because you were good for me. I was like, you fucking idiot. And I leave him. I get back home, I am in my old condo. I have a roommate, who I have never met, BTW, who was watching my old dog for me, and I run to her room crying, telling her about all that had happened. She is shocked to hear what all went down, and my husband never talked to me again in the dream. I woke up. And tears are all over my face. I realize that event didn't actually take place. I see my husband sleeping next to me and I swear I have never loved him more or appreciated our life more than in those seconds after waking up. You see, I have an illness that really changed the trajectory of my life. I often wonder why I got sick with an autoimmune disease. Some days are so difficult, I can't even work anymore. But in the dream I realize I wasn't sick, so I was still acting childish, making frivolous decisions like that. What actually happened was my ex ended up leaving me in the beginning stages of me being sick. What a douchebag, right? But I met my husband shortly after and he never batted an eye at it. He makes me feel like my condition doesn't even exist. I will 200% choose to not be perfect health-wise yet have the perfect husband and be so much in love than have my health and be alone without him. I call that dream a glimpse of what could have been, and boy, it was a marvelous gift to revive. Tell us more about the priestess questions and reaction. How did he try to make sense of it while maintaining his religious beliefs? Honestly, it sounds very much more like a premonition than an actual death. It seems more likely you somehow saw the future in great vivid detail, but it's just my opinion that when we die, that's it. No second chances.